If this is your first WAC episode, congratulations, welcome to the tribe. Then I would urge you to wait till the end of the episode before you judge me or leave your comments down below. Now, all of you know how much I love hearing from each and every one of you. And when we have an open dialogue, not only are we sharing our opinions, but automatically the tribe also gets enriched. I've called this episode The Truth About News in India, and I'm going to go out on a limb right at the beginning of the episode and say that most of the news on TV today is either fake or biased. My name is Frisia, this is WAC, and I think you should be pressing that bell icon so that you get a notification every time a new video comes out. If you take a look at some of our major metros and small towns, you slowly will realize that the system, it is very lopsided. Some of the richest men in our country owe hundreds of crores to banks and public sectors, have multiple scams, skeletons in their closets, and they're not paying up. And at the same time, we have many problems like child labor, child malnutrition, unemployment, farmer suicides, and evils like communal anger that exist here in India. So the system, it definitely is not working. If 1% is happy, some of them are kaam chalawing and the rest of India is suffering. Now this kind of inequality, that's just one of our many problems. The duty of the press has to be upliftment of our society. They need to be asking the right questions and getting the right answers. And they need to do all of this while being unbiased. After all, it is called as reporting and not giving an opinion. In the 70th year of our independence, none of this is happening. In his book 1984, George Orwell goes on to talk about a future where rulers would try and censor our thoughts, where certain books would be banned and certain organizations would be condemned, and the police and the military would try and use their might to stamp out these organizations. Simultaneously, in his book A Brave New World, Aldous Huxley goes on to talk about a future where a Janta would be so engaged in frivolous activities and an exciting environment that they would stop caring for the things that really matter. Sadly, we do live in a world where both of these visions have come true. There was a time when being a journalist was a very respected profession, and some of the smartest and most educated individuals went into journalism. But today's media companies, they don't want the brightest and the most educated. They would rather also look for a slightly cheaper option, an intern who will work for free. When a poor quality is the standard of an organization, then how do you expect that field or organization to do very well? The journalists, the editors, the reporters, and the owners of media houses, they're very happy telling you only about Deepika and Ranveer Singh. They'll have multiple articles right on their home page where they'll tell you about Hrithik versus Kangana, fashion, Bollywood, or cricket. We all know that there is a left-wing media and a right-wing media. A right-wing media will always be biased and vice versa. So if they are expressing an opinion that has a certain propaganda behind it, तो फिर सच कौन बोल रहा है यहाँ पे? If Arnab Goswami cannot say anything positive about the Congress and Barkha cannot say anything positive about Narendra Modi, then does it mean that either of these people have nothing positive about them? Then you are not telling the truth. You are telling me something that is biased, something that your owner has asked you to tell me. They are here to keep us distracted while some people are getting rich and getting their way. India has 700 billionaires, and at the same time, our GDP is falling, unemployment rates are rising, the prices of everyday goods are increasing. But at the same time, so are the number of billionaires. When the everyday lives of the majority are getting tougher, then it is the duty of the press not only to make us more aware, but maybe even better equipped to handle all of this. But they are not doing their job because a lot of our news is either fake or biased. What they are very good at though is keeping us distracted and allowing these people to get richer and have their way. When an Ambani kills someone in a car accident, that news is made to disappear in a matter of days. But if these three go on stage and make fun of somebody, that will stay in the news for weeks together. That's when you know that the news can be easily bought. A lot of the tribe does not like Pakistan, the reason being that our soldiers are dying at their hands. They breed terrorism and they affect peace in our part of the world. But at the same time, there's also a 20-year-old in Pakistan who probably believes that Indians are being killed for beef, that most of the Kashmiris are not happy here in India, and that Muslims are being tortured. This stirs up his religious emotions, making him hate. And it's this kind of hatred that is fueled by our media. If I keep telling you that things are not all right, eventually you will believe me. And then that will justify me spending money to protect you. While I understand that defense is very integral, do we really need to spend this much money on our defense budget? Or even a statue of Shivaji in Bombay? We could take some of this money and divert it towards food and education. Then no one would go hungry and we would have more educated minds. Minds that will go on to do bigger and better things all over the world. But that's not what our rulers want. The rich are only getting richer and the poor will remain poor. So that's it from me on WACK today, and what I can say to you is that the next time you are watching the news, try and see where your information is coming from and stop letting people brainwash you. I think I am going to have a part 2 to this entire episode where we can sit down and deal with this fake news epidemic, on how you can spot fake news and what you can do to be a more responsible citizen. Now you can leave your comments in that comment section down below, and you know what? I'm really looking forward to reading what each and every one of you have to say. This is my email ID. If you do have an idea that you do want me to explore on WACK, you can let me know. Till then, subscribe and help increase the tribe. Ciao.